Amendment by Toth.
The chair recognizes Mr. Toth to explain the amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This amendment increases the administrative penalty for violating this bill. I had a giant medical center this past year told me, Representative, you have your laws, we have our laws. So let's remove any confusion. We're elected to create the law. That is a serious matter, and the purpose of good law is to protect and preserve natural rights. And so this amendment takes the administrative penalty from $10,000 to $50,000, and I move adoption.
The chair recognizes Mr. Leach in opposition to the amendment.
Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to stand up here with my colleagues, Representative Harrison, Representative Schatzline, Representative Tinderholt, and the author of this amendment, which I just saw, Representative Toth. We have in front of us, as is, the strongest COVID mandate ban bill in the entire country. The Senate sent over a bill that would have allowed with a very weak penalty provision, frankly, that would have allowed a fine of only $1. $1. This House, by way of the bill that was passed out of the State Affairs Committee, has the ability to increase that to $10,000. This reckless and unfounded and frankly, I think bordering on ridiculous and silly amendment increases that fine to $50,000 and jeopardizes the bill. I think it's very likely that if this amendment goes on, things will be delayed so substantially in the Senate that it could kill the bill, members. It's very likely to do so. Senator Middleton, I've communicated with him about this. He is opposing this amendment. And I would ask that you stick with me and Senator Middleton to protect this bill, the COVID vaccine, the strongest COVID vaccine mandate bill in the country, and vote no on the amendment.
Mr. Harrison, for what purpose?
Yeah, will the gentleman yield for question?
The gentleman yield for questions. The gentleman yields for questions.
Sure.
Yeah, you made a reference to the Senate author of the bill, and as well as your communications with him. Are you certain that you want it to be your position that the Senate author of this bill would oppose this amendment, and have you discussed this amendment with him today?
Well, I talked to Senator Middleton about the bill as is, Representative Harrison. We had communicated earlier and are going to and are committed to protecting the bill. I haven't talked to him specifically about this amendment, but they sent over a bill out of the Senate that would allow a $1 fine. And so in communications with the Senate, we agreed on $10,000. So, you know, we could, 10,000 is a strong fine. It's going to deter this activity in the future. And I would ask that, that we be strategic and smart about a bill that can withstand judicial scrutiny and actually be effective and enforceable.
I don't expect the answer. I appreciate that. I don't expect the answer to the next question to be yes, but are you aware that I have spoken to the Senate author of this bill about this exact amendment today, and that he let me know he fully supports this amendment and that it would pass in the Senate?
I'm going to accept it.
The chair recognizes Mr. Leach on the amendment.
Okay. So I've been doing this long enough to know when there's efforts underfoot, and I see you. So there seems to be an effort underfoot right now that I can see for a vast majority to vote yes on this amendment because you want to kill the bill. So what I'm going to do is we're going to vote on it. I'm going to vote yes on the amendment. I'd ask that you join me so that we can save the bill. And then I'll work with Senator Middleton, who's been working with me very collaboratively, and many of you as well, on getting this right. And we'll get a bill back to you that is still, I promise, is still the strongest COVID relief ban, COVID vaccine mandate ban in the country.
Move passage.
The question occurs on the adoption of the amendment. This is a record vote. The clerk ring the bell. Show Mr. Leach voting aye, Mr. Toth voting aye, Mr. Martinez Fisher voting nay, Ms. Cook voting aye. Show Mr. Schofield voting aye. Mr. Martinez Fisher voting nay. Have all members voted? There being 87 ayes and 57 nays, the amendment is adopted. Following